Hello friends, welcome to FreeCAD tutorial, and in this tutorial we will model this gripper rod center in FreeCAD. As you can see that I have already modeled it, and I will show you from the scratch how you can do the same in a FreeCAD with the help of a part design workbench. So let's start our tutorial. So here I will create a new file, and I have already activated the part design workbench. I will create a body, and I will on my origin plane. So if we see our part, so we will see our part from these directions. So we will draw this front view on our exit plane, and after that we will create rest of the features, and we will try to make part symmetric as much as possible, because when you make the part symmetric, then it is very easy to edit the part. So we will select this exit plane and create a sketch, and I will off the origin plane. Now you are seeing here a blue tick on the sketch, so click on the recompute or refresh, or you can also press the F5 from your keyboard. And now we will draw the profile, this profile. So let's start our sketching. So while making our first sketch entity, we will keep our center here, means we will draw this diameter at our origin. So first I will select a circle, and I will draw the 2 diameter, and here is a outer diameter is a 41. So I will select it and click on diameter constraint, and I will give dimension 41. So that is the outer one, and I will drag circle to the inside, select this diameter and give it 28.57, which you can see here. And now we will draw the other boundaries of this part. So I will first select the polyline tool, and I will draw the rough profile. So we have created the profile, and now we will give the dimension. So if you see here, from center to bottom is a 44, so I will select this center of the circle and this point and give the vertical dimension of a 44. Total length is a 121, so I will select it and give it 121, and the height is a 48. So I will select this line and give the vertical dimension of 48. This one is a 41, and now this angle is a 120. So I will select this and this and give the angular dimension 120, because here is angle given is a 30 degree, and from here it will be the perpendicular. So this is the perpendicular, this is a 90 plus 30, that is the 120. So here we have given the dimension, but still our sketch is unconstrained, so we will fix this one. So if you see here, we can see here the 12 mm dimension is given from the center of the circle to the outer edge. So I will select this point and my circle point and give the horizontal dimension of a 12 mm. And now if we see our sketch, so bottom of the face to the this face is 29 mm. So I will select this and this and give the vertical dimension of 29 mm. Now you can see that we have fully constrained our sketch. We have a fully constrained sketch, but here we can see that we have the two boundaries, so it will create a problem in extrusion. So we have a one boundary here and we have one boundary here, so that will create a issue in extrusion. So for this we can trim it, or we can make it a construction and create a 3-point arc. So better way would be to trim it. So I will use the trim tool and trim it. And now I will close my sketch and click on the pad. In pad we can see here our extrusion length is a 32. So we will consider the maximum material in extrusion and we will create this pad later. So here I will give the 32 mm, and from here I will check to the symmetric to the plane and I will click OK. So we have made our first base feature, and now we will move to the next features and we will read our drawing and sketch it. Our next feature will be this feature. So for this I will on my origin plane and I will use my mid plane exit to create our sketch. I will select the plane and create a sketch, and for better visibility I will switch to the wireframe. And now I will project this outer arc. So I will click on the project external geometry and project it, and now I will use the polyline tool to create a rough profile and then we will constrain it. So we have created the rough sketch. Now we will constrain it. We will select this point and this arc, constrain it, this point and this arc, constrain it, and now we will give the dimensions. So if you see the drawings, so this is the 28. So I will select this and give my dimension 28. I will move it down, and this is the 13. And I can move it to the down. This is the 14, this line. So I will select it and give the vertical dimension of a 14. And we can see here 51 dimension outer edge to the center. So I will select this point and the projected arc point and give it 51, and I move my dimensions. And this angle is a 14 degree, which we can see here. So for this I will project this bottom edge. I will select this and give the angle of 14. Now if we see here, this line is in a vertical relation with a center. So I will select this point and add the vertical relation. So you can see that our sketch is a fully constrained, but our profile is not close, which means that we will create a 3-point arc. So I will select a 3-point arc, select this point and this point, and here I will select my arc center and my origin point and click on the merge. So you can see that we have a fully constrained sketch. We will come out of the sketch, and from here we will switch to the flat lines. Now if you see our profile, we have the extrusion length of a 20 mm. So we will click on the pad and give the 20 mm dimension, and from here we will click on symmetric to the plane and say OK. Now we will move to the next feature and draw it. Our next feature will be this pad. We will select this bottom face and create our sketch, and from here I will switch to the isometric. So now first we will project this edge. So we will click on the project external geometry and select this edge, and I will select the polyline tool and create a rough profile. So this will be vertical and horizontal and join with this, and from the orientation I will switch to the bottom face, and I will select the line tool and I close my profile. Now I will switch to the isometric and I will project this line, and I will switch to the wireframe. So this line will give me the center. In fact, we have the also origin here. So we will give the dimension. So if you see here, from the center of this hole to this edge is a 26. So I will select this point and this origin point or axis and give the dimension of 26, and this is also 26. So select this line and give it 26. This is the 16 mm which we can see here. Now I move the dimension and this point to this point. Let's switch to the top view, select this point and this point, distance 16 mm which we can see here. Now I will switch to the isometric. So we have a fully constrained sketch. Switch to the flat lines and come out of the sketch, and this extrusion length will be the 16 mm. Click on the pad. So here we are not seeing anything on a screen, so simply click on the reverse and give the length of 16 mm. Click on the OK. Now we will move to the next feature. Our next feature will be this pocket. We will create this cut here. So for this we will select this top plane and create a sketch. switch to the isometric. Now we will project our geometry. We require this geometry and this one. Now we will select the polyline tool and we will create a rough profile. We will switch to the wireframe. Now we will add a horizontal relation, and now we will give the dimensions. So this will be the 10 mm. This will be the 6 mm. This will be the 29. And this will be the 3 mm. So you can check all these dimension here. If you read the drawing, you can find this dimension. So we have the here profile, and now I will close my sketch, switch to the flat lines, and now we will completely remove the material from the top to bottom. So click on the pocket tool and click on the through all and say OK. Now our next feature is to create a hole of 6 drill 82° CSK to dia 9. So for this we will select our back face and click on the sketch, switch to the isometric, and we will rotate our model. And now here we will create the two circles, and now we will give the our dimensions. So from this edge to this center is a 22. So for this we will click on project geometry and we will project it, and before that we will add the vertical relation. Now select this point and this point, add a vertical dimension of 22. This is the 13 mm, so I will edit it and give the 13. Center to center is a 22. And from the center to this hole is a 92 mm. So I will give the 92, and this circle will be equal, and I will give it is a 6 mm drill, so I will give it diameter of 6. So you can check these dimensions with respect to our drawing. From here it is a 13, 22, and from this center to this hole is a 92. And now we will close our sketch and use the hole tool. So select the sketch and click on the hole tool. So you will see the hole parameter, and now we will give here the CSK hole of a 6 mm drill of dia 9 and angle 82. Now the next feature we will create is a counter bore hole, which is given here, 12 drill, 25 spot face, 2 mm deep, So we will select this face and create a sketch, and now we will click on the circle and create a diameter, and here is a 12 mm drill, so I will select the circle and give the diameter of a 12 mm, and from the center it is a 38, so we will project this edge because it is our at origin. So I will click on the project geometry and we will switch to the wireframe, and we will select the whole circle and this edge and give it dimension of 38. Now come out of the sketch and from here switch to the flat lines. And now we will select our sketch and click on the hole. So we have the hole, and from here in a drop down hole cut we will select the counter bore. Now we have a drill of a 12 mm, so we will give here the 12 mm. Depth we will keep the 25, and diameter will be the 25, and depth depth 2 mm. So you can see that we have created a 12 mm drill, which is here. Depth we have kept the true all, or we can simply say true all. Diameter 25 and depth of 2 mm. So if you see here, so this is the 12 mm drill, and this 25 belongs to the outer diameter, this outer diameter, and the depth is the this 2 mm. This is how to create the counter bore in FreeCAD. Now we will say OK. Now we will move to the next feature. Our next feature is to create a central drill to dia 6, draw 60 mm CSK. So here is also a CSK hole on this face, so we will select this face and create a sketch first, and it is at the center of this our extrusion. So we will simply select a circle and create a circle, and we will give the dimension. So this is the 4 mm drill to dia 6 at 60 degree. So we will select the diameter and give it a 4 mm, and we will close it. And now we will again use the hole tool, and first we will select the countersink from here, and our drill is a 4 mm, and we will keep the depth 25 mm so that it opens at here, diameter 6, and the angle we want is a 60 degree. Here is the angle is the given, and we will click on OK, and we will switch to the isometric, and you can see that a countersink hole is created as per our drawing. Now we will move to the next tool. Our next feature is a mirror feature, so we can see that identical lugs on both the side. So we will press the space bar, and we will find out the pad. So we will, if we click on the pad 01, so we do not see this pad. If we click on the pad 02 and press the space bar, so we will mirror it on the other side. So for this we will click on the pad 002 and click on the mirror tool, and from here we will select the reference, and reference we will give the x2. So you can see that feature is created on the other side, and we will say OK. And now we will switch to the isometric and we will create our next feature in a drawing. Our next feature is to create a 6 drill 2 holes on both the pad which we have mirror. So for this we will select the face and create a sketch. Switch to the isometric and switch to the top view. We will draw the 2 circles. So it is a flat drill, so I am going to make with the pocket tool. Now we will give the dimensions. First we add the vertical relation with these 2 holes. It is a 6 mm drill, so both are the equal, so I will give the equal constraint. And now we will give the dimension which is of 48 from this hole to this hole, so I will select this 2 center point and add the vertical dimension of 48, and I will switch to the wireframe. So we have the mid axis, so we will use the symmetricity constraint. Select this point and the axis, and it is a 6 mm drill, so I will click on the circle and give the diameter of 6 mm. And our sketch is unconstrained because it does not have the vertical relation with our this counter bore hole. So we will click on the project geometry so that we get a center. Now I will select these 2 points and I add a vertical relation and close it and switch to the flat lines. I will simply select the sketch and click on the pocket, and from drop down I will give the true all and say OK. As you can see that we have completed our model, and here is a common note which is a round and fillet of R2. So you can give the fillet to the all around the part of R2 radius, and this is how we have made gripper rod center 3D model with respect to our drawing in FreeCAD with the help of a part design workbench. Thank you for watching and thank you for your valuable time. You can also visit my website mechnexus.com, where I write articles and tutorials on FreeCAD. You can download my tutorial source file from here. If you like my method of teaching, then please support me on coffee.com. You can buy me a cup of coffee. Your small support will help these channels to grow, and it will motivate me to create more awesome content on FreeCAD. I will provide my website and my Ko-Fi donation page link in a video descriptions.